Boundary setting often triggers resistance, external pushback, anger, guilt tripping, retaliation, and internal hesitation or fear. Fridays are for book club. I'm going to give you the final takeaways of this book titled Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and John Townsend. Chapter 13, Boundaries and God. God gives us freedom from God gives us freedom both to say yes and no, and He respects our choices. Healthy boundaries with God involved honesty, even anger or disappointment, as a part of a real relationship built on truth rather than suppression. Accepting consequences rather than bypassing them is key. God allows the results of our choices. That's boundaries and God. And the next chapter, chapter 14, resistance to boundaries. Okay, so boundary setting often triggers resistance and external pushback, anger, guilt tripping, retaliation, and internal hesitation or fear. So when you start implementing those boundaries, there are people that may get upset. That does not mean you stop implementing the boundary. Okay, they'll be okay. The boundaries don't need people's approval. The authors call the boundary based emotional the authors call this boundary-based emotional labor, a battle you face both others a battle you face both others and you face both others reactions and your internal doubts. So they're getting upset and you're like, well, I should change my mind, or maybe I'll just do it this time. You start having that internal battle. Forgiveness doesn't always call for reconciliation. I'm going to say that again. Forgiveness doesn't always call for reconciliation. You can forgive while still maintaining your limits, okay? Internal resistance often internal resistance involves honest self-examination. Understanding what's holding you back is essential to setting boundaries. So chapter 15, also part of also part 3. Although some accounts excuse me, anger is the typical response when boundaries are established, often arising from a sense of entitlement or fear. Well, you've always said yes. Why aren't you saying yes now? What's going on? What's changed? What's wrong with you? Okay, so those are some typical anger responses when you start setting boundaries. Don't let someone else's anger or guilt messages override your boundaries. Setting boundaries is risky, nevertheless, usually others respond positively once they realize you're serious. Prayer or reflection helps ease anxiety about the future. Forgiveness remains essential, yet doesn't demand reversing your boundaries. Okay? Chapter 16, takeaways. How to measure success with boundaries. Start with self reflection, assessing your motivations and emotional readiness before setting limits. Recognizing and respecting others' boundaries is a sign of emotional maturity and increases empathy. Success isn't measured by the compliance from others, nevertheless, by your own consistency in saying yes and saying no clearly. This book has definitely helped me to stand firm in my yes and stand firm in my no and be unapologetic about it. When I say no, I don't have to explain my no. And I don't have to explain it. Like I don't. So many times people ask me something and I say no. They be like, well, tell me why. And tell me, I'm like, because I don't want to. Just no. No is a complete sentence. All right. Okay, so what else I have? Chapter 16. Okay, no, I'm going to chapter 17. A day in the life with boundaries. What a day, the authors illustrate what a day rooted in healthy boundaries looks like. Managing requests, knowing what's yours and what's not, engaging honestly and firmly. Boundaries don't isolate, they help maintain genuine relationships by clarifying roles, limits, and responsibilities. When you communicate your limits, you own your boundaries, life becomes more sustainable, responsible, and free. So here's the big picture takeaways from chapter 13. Spiritual honesty and respecting divine boundaries deepen your authenticity before God. Chapter 14 to 15. Expect pushback when you set limits. Nevertheless, stay grounded. Forgiveness doesn't require re engaging. Forgiveness doesn't require re engaging. Forgiveness doesn't require re engaging. Who needed to hear that? Boundary success is measured by internal consistency and empathy, not others' compliance. You do not them to comply. You do not need them to comply with your boundary. You don't. Chapter 17. Applying boundaries daily reshapes your life by creating clarity, integrity, and sustainable relationships. Boundaries, if I want to say this, I want to summarize with everything I just said. Boundaries protect the relationship. Boundaries protect your relationships. A lot of relationships, when they are not protected, people are hurt, people are mistreated, people are all kinds of different things occur when there's no boundaries. Always saying yes, always being there, always doing things that people could do for themselves. So many things that we do because we don't have boundaries. You even have to have boundaries with your spouse. You have to have boundaries with your children. You have to have boundaries at work. You have to have boundaries because when you don't, then you all mad. You all just what's the word? You feel resentment because you're saying yes, and out of guilt you want to say no, and you're frustrated and you're angry because you don't know how to say no. And a lot of times it's the people pleasing. It's those people pleasing tendencies. Maybe somebody didn't come through for you, so now you feel like you got to come through for everybody. You got to say yes all the time to the detriment of you. No, 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 no. I need you to practice saying no. We must implement these boundaries. If not, it's only gonna get worse. So this book was really good. It was right on time. I cannot wait to see what our book is going to be for next month. Our coach is on sabbatical, so when he gets back, he'll give us our new book. And when I tell you these books be right on time for exactly where I am and what I need, I don't know about nobody else. I know about me. The book is right on time. This book right here, I'm able to implement these boundaries, um, and I do it constantly. Because people have these requests of you, and sometimes you just don't have it in you. And it's no, I ain't got to explain it. No, I don't want to do that. No, 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 no. That's all. So Fridays After Book Club. I hope these last few chapters were good for you. And this book is highly recommended. This book should be on everybody's shelf and everybody's audio app. It should be there because it's so needed. We got to know how to do this right here because when we don't know how to do this, all kinds of stuff come up missing. Our peace, our joy, our sanity, everything. So 10 out of 10. Book was amazing. Can't wait to see what the next book is. I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay in peace.